Thank you, councillors, for joining us for the first session for the new term of councillors for the 2024 council. I'd like us to stand for the acknowledgement of country. Swan Hill Rural City Council acknowledges the traditional custodians of the land on which we meet and pays its respects to their elders past and present. Declaration, please, Councillor King.
We beseech you, Lord, that we may be granted wisdom, understanding and sincerity of purpose in the decisions we are called on to make for the welfare of the people of the rural city of Swan Hill. Amen.
Thank you. Please be seated. We have no apologies or leaves of absence today. All directors and officers are present. May I have confirmation for the minutes of the last council meeting?
Yeah, move, Mr. Chair.
Moved Councillor McPhee, seconded Councillor King. Thank you. Does anyone need to or want to disclose a conflict of interest or conflicts of interest? Councillor Jennings?
My conflict with regard to Swan District Health.
Thank you. We don't have any joint letters or readings of petitions today. There will be no public questions or open forum. None of those have been requested to be used today. So we'll move on to the officer reports for decision. Okay. Oh, prior to doing that, beg your pardon, I'd like to, for the record, note that all councillors have been sworn in and read their oaths or affirmations as chosen, and that record is in this agenda and will be in the minutes of this meeting. Righto. Item 2.1, the mayoral term of office. Under the Local Government Act of 2020, there are basically two options for councillors to decide upon: whether you would like to elect a mayor for a 1 or a 2-year term. Each year we'll bring that to the councillors at the end of the term of the previous mayor and ask this question. I'll take the report as read, but state the recommendation is the council elects a mayor for a term of 1 year, with the next election of mayor to be held as close to the end of term as reasonably practical.
I'll move the motion, Mr. Chair, as per the recommendation.
Thank you, Councillor McPhee.
Second.
Seconded, Councillor Rogers. Councillor McPhee.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Chair. Look, I understand that council can elect for 2-year terms. The practice of this council has always been 1-year terms. I think it's only fair. It gives the opportunity, if the mayor chooses not to, after 1 year, it gives him an out basically, for personal reasons or health reasons or any other reason to get out, and also it ensures that they're performing to the best of their ability, because the council can then say, you're not performing to the best of your ability, we won't give you the 2nd year. So I think it's appropriate that we look at it each year to ensure good practice. Thank you, Mr. CEO, or Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Councillor McPhee. Councillor Rogers?
I'd just like to support Councillor McPhee's recommendation and support everything he said today.
Thank you, Councillor Rogers. Anyone like to speak against the motion as it is? Righto. I call for the motion to be voted upon. Motion is carried. Thank you. We will have the next mayor. We're about to walk in the election, but the next mayor will be elected for a 12-month period, or as close to as practically possible. Righto, let's move on to item 2.2. For those viewing today, it's unusual to see the CEO chairing this meeting, but when we don't have a mayor, this is the obligation of council under the Local Government Act that the CEO chairs the meeting until the mayor is selected. So with that, let us commence the mayoral election as per report 2.2. It's customary that the outgoing mayor, or acting mayor if it is that at the time, speaks to their achievements in the mayoral position for the prior to this election. So I'll ask councillors to please consider suspending standing orders while the former mayor gives his speech. Will someone move that?
Yeah, move the motion to suspend standing orders.
Thank you, Councillor McPhee. Will someone second that? Thank you, Councillor Englefield. I'll hand this over to Councillor King, who was the former mayor, just to say a few words.
Thank you, Mr. CEO, and thank you, councillors, directors, other officers and members of the gallery. Thank you. I'll keep this brief. I do want to thank the previous council for their contribution and for giving me the opportunity to lead the municipality as mayor in the previous term. I don't want to speak about personal achievements, because the achievements that the mayor sometimes gets the opportunity to cut ribbons, to present, to be that spokesperson for council as per the Local Government Act, is because of the work of the councillors and the council staff in the background. So it's not all about the mayor, it's about the work and the achievements of the council of the day. I am very proud that as a council, as a previous council, there's been a lot of work done, particularly in the area of strategy and strategic planning, and I don't just mean planning from the planning department, I mean strategic planning from all departments, which sets this new council, and welcome to the new councillors that have been elected and are sitting around these tables today. It sets this council up for a really good term of delivering on some of that strategy, on some of those things that have been very well thought out, very well planned and very well budgeted, and I look forward to working with this council to being able to help deliver on the things that were set up by the previous council. Specific thanks to the CEO. I had a great working relationship with Scott and with his team in the last 12 months, and it was an absolute privilege to lead the organisation. It was a privilege to have that close relationship, and I believe, as I said, as a council, we've done some really good work, and I look forward to this council having a similar relationship with the CEO, with the directors, with the staff into the future. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor King. Can I have a motion to resume standing orders? Councillor McKee, thank you. Second? Councillor King, thank you very much. Right, councillors, I'll now outline the election process. I will call for nominations and ask the nominee whether or not they accept the nomination. Each nominee, in order of nomination, will then get to speak up to 5 minutes prior to commencement of the election process. For the election process, voting is carried out with a clear show of hands in accordance with the Council's governance rules, so it may be seen here in the Council chambers and through the electronic broadcast to see who a councillor has voted for at the time the vote is taken. If a council receives one nomination, that candidate will be declared elected. If we receive 2 nominations, a vote must be taken. For a councillor in that instance to become mayor, they must get the majority vote. In this council chambers, it's at least 4 votes. Okay, so without further ado, I am calling for nominations for mayor, Swan Hill Rural City Council 2024. Yes, Terry. Councillor Jennings.
Mr Chair, I'd like to nominate past Mayor Stuart King as the mayor.
Okay, nominated by Councillor Jennings for Stuart King. Councillor King as mayor. Councillor King, do you accept the nomination?
Accept the nomination.
Thank you. Looking around the room, do councillors want to nominate for mayor? Last chance. Righto. We now have a mayor. Councillor Stuart King is now Mayor King, Swan Hill Rural City Council 2024. I'd like Council to move a motion to announce Councillor King as the mayor, and then I ask of you if you're happy to then suspend standing orders. Would someone move those motions, please?
So moved, Mr Chair.
Councillor McPhee and second, and Councillor Englefield. So we've now suspended standing orders for the robing of the mayor. Sorry, Scott. Yeah, we'll get rid of it in a minute.
That's a good idea. We got time for that? I think. Is that mine? That one's, no, this one's mine. This one's mine. What do we do now? Resume standing orders? Yeah. Thank you, councillors. Can I have a motion to resume standing orders, please? Yep. Councillor Rogers, seconded Councillor Thornton. Thank you. First of all, I just want to say thank you to current group of councillors for your confidence in me and for the nomination. As I said before, it is a real honour and privilege to undertake this position, and I will do it to the best of my ability to represent council well and to represent you as council as well. So thank you for the confidence. I'll also again take the opportunity to thank the previous council, the councillors that have retired, the councillors that weren't elected, but thank them for their work towards progressing the benefit of the entire municipality. So I thank them for their work and look forward to them continuing to contributing to the community, albeit in different ways in the next few years. We'll now move on to the next item of business, which is the... Sorry, this format's just a fraction different to the previous one. Election of the Deputy Mayor. Again, under the Local Government Act... Sorry, you get to say this part. I'm out of practice. Mr CEO, your report. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr Mayor. It's very similar to the process we've just been through. It's requesting a motion of council, firstly, to determine whether or not you would like a Deputy Mayor. If you do want a Deputy Mayor, then we'll go through an election process. If you choose not to have a Deputy Mayor, then we'll move on with the meeting.
Thank you, Mr CEO. So the report is in front of you, councillors, and the recommendation is that council elect a councillor to be Deputy Mayor in accordance with Section 25 of the Local Government Act 2020, and following that we would have an election process. Any questions, councillors, before I seek a motion for that? If not, could I ask for a motion? Councillor Rogers?
I'd like to move we accept the recommendations and...
Move as per recommendation?
Yes.
Thank you.
And, I'd like to make a Deputy Mayor.
Thank you. Do I have a second for that motion? Councillor Englefield, thank you. Councillor Rogers, you wish to speak to the motion?
I think it's an important role that needs to be backed up to back up the Mayor, and particularly, while we've got a new council, it's the right thing.
Thank you. Councillor Englefield, do you wish to speak to the motion?
Yeah, I just think Deputy Mayor will add to the certainty and the consistency over the next 12 months. So I think a Deputy Mayor, while it may at times not do a lot, but I think it is an important position and it's a position we should fill.
Thank you. Have any speakers against the motion? Being no speakers against the motion, I'll put the motion. Those in favour? Motion is carried. So, given that we will be having a Deputy Mayor, I'll ask for nominations for Deputy Mayor. Councillor Rogers.
I'd like to nominate Councillor McPhee for Deputy Mayor.
Could you use the microphone and do that again, please?
Yes, I'd like to nominate Councillor Les McPhee for a Deputy Mayor's position.
Thank you. Councillor McPhee, do you accept?
I accept that nomination, Mr Mayor.
Accept the nomination? Don't have to get a second.
No, we treat that as a second.
Do I have any other nominations for Deputy Mayor? Being no further nominations, I'll declare Councillor McPhee as Deputy Mayor for Swan Hill Rural City Council for the coming 12 months. Thank you. Congratulations. Righto. ready to move on? We'll move on to item 2.4, which is council scheduled meeting dates, times and locations. Mr CEO.
Thank you, Mr Mayor. Council traditionally meets at 2 o'clock on the third Tuesday of the month, usually at Swan Hill. Last year we also included or returned to having a meeting at Robinvale. For 2025, we're recommending the same as this year, as 2024. We ask councillors to look at the recommendation and put forward a motion.
Any questions, councillors, on that report? Councillor McPhee?
Only in relation to where we held it on the second Tuesday last year, there's no clashes this year with the National General Assembly?
At the moment, no.
Current advice, Councillor McPhee, is no. If we do get a date and it does clash, we will bring it back to council. But at this point, it looks okay.
I'll move motion as per the recommendation, Mr Mayor.
Thank you, Councillor McPhee. Do I have a seconder for that motion? Councillor Englefield. Councillor McPhee, do you wish to speak to the motion?
Look, only just that we have to do this by the under the Local Government Act. It does give the community some certainty as to when the meetings are, but as highlighted in that question, there are times that some conflict may come up and we can change them as the need arises. Thank you, Mr Mayor.
Thank you, Councillor McPhee. Councillor Englefield, do you wish to speak? Nothing to add. Any speakers against the motion? If not, I'll put the motion. Those in favour? Motion is carried. Thank you.
Thank you.
Item 2.5, annual appointment of councillor representatives to external and internal committees. Again, Mr CEO.
Thank you, Mr Mayor. So each year we look at an annual appointment of councillor representatives to various committees and community groups. We have sought expressions of interest, so to speak, or interest from councillors tentatively for this meeting, and we have populated the 2025 column with councillors who are interested in representing council at those respective groups. If a councillor has changed their mind, or if another councillor would like to put their hand up, now's the time. I'd like to note, Mr Mayor, that the Agribusiness Advisory Committee, Councillor Thornton has expressed interest. We haven't heard from anyone to be Councillor Thornton's sub for that particular committee. So I'd ask that the councillors review that list, and if it's correct, please move a motion to support it, but we do also need to just close out that item for the Agribusiness Committee, please.
Thank you, Mr CEO. Any questions, councillors? I'm happy to be the sub-delegate if there's no other interest around for that Agribusiness Advisory Committee. Any other questions or discussion around that table? It's all pretty clear. Sorry, Councillor McPhee. Thank you, Councillor McPhee. As per recommendation, do I have a seconder for that motion? Councillor Broad, thank you. Councillor McPhee, do you wish to speak to the motion?
Yeah, thanks, Mr Mayor. Look, there's 7 community groups here, and it's pleasing to see that a council has taken on each one. And as discussed when we were looking at these groups will be changed yearly. We're only on these groups for a year. This is an opportunity for the councillors to get around to different parts of the municipality and meet different groups within our municipality. That's an important role of the council, to be involved and listen to the community, and this is just one avenue for them to do that, plus being involved in all those other committees that are listed there on the report, Mr Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor McPhee. Councillor Broad, do you wish to speak? Nothing further to add. Any speakers against the motion? If not, I will put the motion. Those in favour? The motion is carried. Thank you. And I'll just add to that, further what Councillor McPhee said as well, that even if councillors aren't the nominated representative for any of those groups, it is a great idea and a great opportunity to get out amongst the community groups and meet face to face with our residents and ratepayers. We'll move on to the next item of the agenda. This is not as easy as the last one. Sorry, I'm just scrolling down to it. The Domestic Animal Management Plan Review 2024. Ms Granger.
Thank you, Mayor. Councils are required to have a domestic animal management plan in accordance with the Domestic Animals Act. We have a plan that goes from 2022 to 2025, and we're required to report on it annually. and have council sign off on that report and then submit it to the Secretary of the Department of Energy, Environment and Climate Action. So before you, you've got an update report, and attached to that is a table with all the actions we've carried out in the last 12 months. In the third year of the plan, there are a couple of highlights we'd like to talk to. So Council made a decision to introduce a cat containment order last year. That will come into force on the 1st of January. That was followed by extensive community consultation. We've produced an animal procedures manual so that all our policy framework is in one collective and is easy to use by officers. We've established a new pound register that is helping us contact and manage animals and contact owners quickly. We've had some growth in animal statistics, so we've had more animals be registered, which is a really positive outcome. We've also adopted some new animal signage to encourage and educate our community to be responsible pet owners, and you'll see them in recreation reserves and parks across the municipality. So we're seeking as a recommendation that you adopt our review, that you endorse it, and we send it off to the Secretary of the Department. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms Granger. Any questions, councillors, regarding this report? If not, could I have a motion?
I'll move as per the recommendation.
Thank you. Move Councillor Englefield, seconded Councillor McPhee. Councillor Englefield, do you wish to speak to the motion?
That's a fairly, obviously a very significant and thorough report as per requirements, and I have complete faith in supporting it.
Thank you. Councillor McPhee?
Yeah, thanks, Mr Mayor. Yeah, look, this is a requirement under the Act that we must have one of these, but as all pet owners know, they become part of a family. They're not just a pet, but it's about ensuring that we make sure we look after them while they are part of our family. And that's what this plan's all about too, to make it safe for them as well as us into the future. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor McPhee. Any speakers against the motion? Anybody else wish to speak to the motion? If not, I'll put it. Those in favour? Motion is carried. Thank you. We'll move on to section 3, officer reports for noting. 3.1, quarterly major projects program update for the end of the September quarter 2024. Mr Pratap.
Thank you, Mr Mayor. This report provides the update as of September 30th, Mr Mayor. During this quarter, the major project milestones achieved was awarding of the contract for Art Gallery and Tourism and Cultural Hub, practical completion of Butterworth Street drainage and roadworks, Mr Mayor, and practical completion of the Boundary Bend Road and Coolong Road works, Mr Mayor. We have also restarted the Robinvale Caravan Park retaining wall project, Mr Mayor. That was in dispute when we first started that project, Mr Mayor, and now we are working on the design phase of the project. The detailed reports are attached, Mr Mayor. The yellow highlighted ones are the ones that are a little bit behind time, and we are working towards it to have those projects completed. The rest of the report, I'll take it as read, Mr Mayor, and I'm happy to take questions. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr Pratap. Any questions, councillors, on the major projects in that quarterly report? No?
I'll move the motion, Mr Mayor, as per the recommendation.
Thank you, Councillor McPhee. Seconder for that motion? Councillor Thornton, thank you. You wish to speak to the motion, Councillor McPhee?
Yeah, thanks, Mr Mayor. Look, this is a quarterly report that comes to Council. It's a great opportunity to explain to the community what projects are going on. Well, there's not a lot need to be explaining around Swan Hill at the moment, with the Art Gallery and the Swan Hill Tourism and Cultural Hub happening all down in our Pioneer Settlement precinct. Butterworth Street and obviously Long Street in Swan Hill. People are well aware of them. But it's also projects, as Mr Pratap said, about the Robinvale Caravan Park, other projects that are happening outside Swan Hill that people are made aware of what is happening. And it's also a good indication for us as councillors to ensure that they are on time and on budget. which it's providing to be a great resource for that reason. Thank you, Mr Mayor.
Thank you, Councillor McPhee. Councillor Thornton, do you wish to speak? No, nothing to add. Anybody wish to speak against the motion? If not, I'll put the motion. Those in favour? The motion is carried. Thank you. Section 4 of the agenda, decisions which need action or ratification. 4.1, sign and seal. Mr CEO.
Thank you, Mr Mayor. For the new councillors, this is a delegated authority where if a contract has to be signed and sealed, two other councillors sign that with the CEO. So this is for ratification that we have in fact signed those contracts.
Any questions on the sign and seal, councillors? If not, can I have a motion, please? Councillor McPhee. As per recommendation?
As per recommendation.
Thank you. Seconder for the motion. Councillor Rogers, thank you. Councillor McPhee, do you wish to speak?
No, just a procedural note, Madam Mr Mayor.
Thank you. Councillor Rogers?
As
Yep. If no one wishes to speak against it, I'll put the motion. Those in favour? Motion is carried. Thank you. 4.2, Councillor Assembly's record of attendance and agenda items. Mr CEO again.
Thank you, Mr Mayor. For new councillors, we keep a record of assemblies and briefings who attended those particular meetings, and we bring it back to council to be recorded in our minutes as you're seeing today. Thank you, Mr Mayor.
Thank you, Mr CEO. So as you can see, particularly for the new councillors, you can see that the attendance and items discussed at last week's briefing session are noted there, as the CEO said, for basically for ratification. So can I have a motion for that, please? Sorry, Councillor Jennings, thank you. Seconder? Councillor Englefield. Councillor Jennings, do you wish to speak to that? No? No, that's fine. Councillor Englefield? No. All right, I'll put the motion. Those in favour? Motion is carried. Thank you. Being the first meeting of this council, there are no notices of motion in section 5. I don't think we'll have any foreshadowed items either, Mr CEO. Have any urgent items not included in the agenda? If not, we'll then move on to section 8, which is to consider and order on councillor reports. Obviously, we've only been sworn in as of last week, but I will go around the table and ask for councillors if they wish to mention anything that they've been involved in. I'm happy to kick it off so that councillors get the... You'll kick it off? Thank you, Les. Mr Councillor McPhee.
Last week, Mr Mayor. The only thing I've been to since that time is the walk against family violence, just on this week, yesterday, and it's about 16 days of activation and making the community be aware of family violence, and we need to talk about it. It is unfortunate that this area is one of the highest in the state for family violence. Some say that's a good thing that people are prepared to report it. I say it's not, in the fact that we are, as a community, condoning it by having that at such high. I think it's about making sure that we do participate, not only in these 16 days of activation, all year. We've got to be aware of it and be prepared to talk and speak up and say that it's not acceptable at any level. Thank you, Mr Mayor.
Thank you, Councillor McPhee. So I'll work around the table. Councillor Broad.
Yes, thank you, Mr Mayor. I attended the inaugural Christmas tree lighting, which was Swan Rural City Council and Swan Incorporated. Fantastic event, very well run, a great turnout. Walking down the main street, it was full of families, full of children, and the different stalls available was incredible. So yeah, attended that. I think it's great for our region. Fully support it. Thank you, Mr Mayor.
Thank you. And councillors, all these reports are tabled, obviously, in the minutes of the meeting as well. Councillor Inglefield, anything to report? Nothing. Councillor Rogers.
Nothing to report other than just the briefing meetings and trying to get up to speed with the immense lot of acknowledgement we've got to learn quickly.
Great. Thank you. Councillor Jennings.
Only that we were open on the night of the...
Just your... Thank you.
Saying that we were actually trading on the night of the street activation, but I applaud the work that's been done by Swan Hill Inc. in getting that up and going. The street looks great with the Christmas decorations, and it was well responded to by families, as was seen down at the new large tree at the clock. So well done to all concerned there.
Thank you, Councillor Jennings. Councillor Thornton, anything to report?
Nothing to report. I haven't been able to formally attend anything in my councillor role, but yeah, enjoyed our briefing last week and getting to know the other councillors, and look forward to representing my community.
Great, thank you, Councillor Thornton. I'll just add a couple of things, as well as the Christmas tree and the Walk Against Family Violence. Fortunate to attend the New South Wales Open. It was across the ditch in Swan Hill East, also known as the Murray Downs Golf and Country Club, which was a fantastic event for our region, and despite being publicised worldwide as the town of Murray Downs with a population of 274 people, we're well aware that it has a huge impact on our region, and looking forward to more anecdotal stories about the success of that event and the people it brings to our region. I'm already aware of somebody who drove down from Queensland the week after the New South Wales Open just to play golf at Murray Downs because they saw the course on the TV. So with anecdotal stories like that, we can only expect continued positive things out of hosting that event. And you know, well done to Council, to Swan Hill Link, to Murray Downs Golf and Country Club, and the plethora of Swan Hill locals, businesses, volunteers for enabling that event to happen. And the other thing was the launch of the Ag Plastics Baler for the council, and that's an exciting time ahead where we can see the agricultural plastics getting baled up and shipped off to be turned into something useful after they've had their time as the first useful thing. I'm not going to quote the stats, but they're out there about how many tonnes of plastic waste are generated in this region, and it's a good thing that we can contribute to repurposing that waste rather than just sending it to landfill or up in smoke. So it's a good thing we're doing there. So that's it for me on that one. That concludes our public part of the meeting, but we do have a couple of items that we need to consider in camera. So I'll ask Council.
Yeah, I move a motion to go into camera.
Into camera. Thank you. Second for that motion, Councillor Rogers. Thank you. All those in favour? That is carried. Just ask councillors to remain seated whilst we Thank you, councillors. We're back live. Thank you to councillors, thank you to directors and other staff, members of the public in the gallery, members of the public on the live stream. This concludes the scheduled meeting of council for November 2024, and I officially close the meeting at 2:51 p.m. Thank you. Just remain seated till we cease the live stream.